False shuffles. We all love false shuffles. The only problem with false shuffles is that sometimes they're not very convincing. Today I'm going to teach you one that is also not very convincing. But the idea of learning this technique is to inspire some creativity in you to take a little bit further. So let me tell you what I mean by that. Not everything on this channel is set in stone. This is how it should be. In fact, anything that you learn should not be set in stone. You should take it and, take it to the next level than what me or anybody else teaches you. I think that's a good thing just in general, not just in magic or anything else, just in life, right? Don't go by what everybody says or tells you to do or not to do, and you will be much more successful within you. Yo guys, what is going on? Alex Pandrea here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are talking about a false FARO shuffle. This is something that I've been playing around with. I do sometimes, and I do get away with it, and the only reason for getting away with this move, again, it's not very convincing. I'll be the first to admit it. You can make it convincing, but the whole idea of this move is to do it with the peripheral vision of you shuffling, right? So for the spectator to look at the cards while they're being shuffled and you saying, look, the cards are being shuffled, right? I don't think a lot of people will believe you, but it is an interesting move. It is something that is worth at least playing around with. There's something to it, but it's not complete just yet. This is where you come in and hopefully make it better. So let's learn the false FARO shuffle. Alright, here we go with today's tutorial. Today's tutorial is sponsored by the Knock Luxury deck. That's right, you guys know what the deal is. This Tuesday, November 24th, the Knock Luxury edition, this is the silver deck, will be coming exclusively to Kickstarter. These are the cards. They are in foil, completely foiled up, and of course the tuck box as well. You can get all the info with the link down below. It'll take you to the page. If you go ahead and hit the get me notified little button, you will be up to date with everything going on with our big project, our biggest project of the year. I can't wait for you guys to see them all. Here are the other two decks. They are pretty badass, I must say. There's gold, there's bronze, and of course the silver. All right, let's get going with today's tutorial. So what am I going to show you? Well, like you saw in the intro, or rather like I said in the intro, this is not one false shuffle to be done in front of everybody watching, because it is just an idea. This is just an idea that is up to you then to say whether it fits for you, whether it doesn't. Are you going to perform it? Are you going to perform it sort of on the off beats? How are you going to do it? Or can you improve it? So on and so forth. So I'll show you a few different versions of what I've been playing around with. But the basic idea is to go ahead and do a sort of FARO shuffle of the deck and then push it in like that. Now this is pretty standard. We'll show you how I've taken it sort of to the next level. And when I say next level, it's probably a lower level, but who's counting, right? So this is a normal riffle shuffle where you're taking the cards and you're weaving them together like this, and then you can push them in like that. You can do the cascade afterwards, but we're not going to focus on that in this video because the false one does not mimic that one. So the false one just mimics this, doing that, and pushing in the cards, all right? But now we're going to take a look at this from another angle, right? This from another angle looks like this, and then push in, okay? So we can mimic that in a false way by coming out here and almost sort of reminiscent of a Zaro shuffle where basically you're going to use one card as cover to push these cards in, but basically what you're doing is you're doing that. Okay, now we're going to just go through the basic technique of this and then show you ways to do it actually full false, because this is basically going to cut the deck with the exception of this top card, all right, which will get misplaced, all right? So you're going to cut here, go as if you're going to shuffle the cards, push this card forward with the first finger, but you're going to do this before you get cleared from these two packets. So before, you're going to push it a little bit so it has a little bit of a step right here. You can see that, all right? So it's going to happen like this. And now make sure that it's pushed enough so that when the bottom packet clears, this one gets hung up on the left hand's packet. From here, it's going to be very easy to now move the right hand's packet underneath and push the left hand's packet in between the top card and the rest of the cards. All right, and now you're going to want to do it and mimic sort of trying to go in with the cards as if you're actually pushing it in, but you're just going to go left and right, sort of jitter your hand like this, like that. Always be aware of the angle, because the angle is from here. Yes, you can do it as long as you're not pushing it too much forward so that this bottom portion is also being shown. But you can do it here. Here are the angles for this. You can do it here, and now moving all the way up to here. So look how nice all the angles are for this. Okay, you can tilt it up this way as well. You can tilt it down this way as well, again, as long as this is, maybe you cover it with your hands. So the angles of this are very, very nice. And you push it in, and then I come out here and I grab everything with the left hand, and I push everything flush, okay? Now look, I'm covering this portion right there so it's not seen, and I'm pushing everything into, and they see this. And then you sort of riffle to complete it. Now the idea behind this is that so that peripherally they feel like you've done a shuffle. All right, they don't have to necessarily look at it, even though they possibly can, right? Because you can do this and then just push it in and it looks like a shuffle. You do a few false cuts and then you do the action of shuffling. You could even, sometimes I do this when I want to do this, I come out here and I go, look, I almost got every single one. And then I make sort of a joke about it, right? Not really a joke, I mean, that's not really funny, like dot ha ha funny, but it's sort of in the moment kind of, look, I almost got every single one, right? Interweaved, basically. And then as they react to it and as you, then I literally strip out and I push forward and then I go into the false, into doing exactly what we taught you. And it could seem as if I shuffled the cards. Okay, again, this is not a super fancy fooling false shuffle where you're doing, you know, any sort of riffle at the end, but it's just something to keep in mind. Now let's take you through. Instead of just coming out here, what you can basically do is push this card forward so you can get a full, right? So instead of separating first, you're going to separate, but move this first card forward as you strip out the middle portion. And then it's going to look the same, but now the only problem is you have this right there as cover all the way pushed forward. All right, so now you're just going to have to close this gap right there as you move this forward. And here's another problem that you might have when you push this forward, that's going to happen. So you just want to make sure that either the cards are tilted down and you push forward, or you cover as you square up. Okay, so that it would be a 100% false shuffle, just doing that and then pushing it forward. But again, look how nice this looks. If you're just doing it sort of without really paying much attention to it, you're doing a few false cuts, and then the spectator just assumes that you're going to shuffle the cards. Again, not super convincing, not the best false shuffle, but something to think about and play around with. All right, now let's take it up a notch to the third and final sort of way of sort of combining the two. And this is what I really wanted to show you on this video. Now you can take this concept, throw a bit of your own thinking in it, and come up with something better or actually good, because I don't think this is good. So please, I don't want to hear in the comments how this is not a good false shuffle. I know, okay? But it is something to think about. It looks like this. You're going to come out here, you're going to shuffle the cards and just push everything in, and you have a total false shuffle. Again, it's going to look like this. You're here, and then you can see that the cards are being pushed in. Not the best. Let's take you through exactly how that works. You're going to split. Now here's what's interesting about this. You're going to split right here, push this forward like you're doing that first technique. So you come in here, you're letting that one dip down so it's caught on here, and then you're pushing in. Now before, you're going to go in about a quarter of the way. All right. Now if you were to just push in right now, this card would be displaced and you would cut the deck. To reverse this procedure, you want to the angle has to change, and now what you're going to have to do is push this card forward, as now you're going to take that bottom packet and move it back up underneath this. So you're combining the two shuffles that I just showed you, and you're going back to, so you kind of have the best of both worlds, and then pushing it in. All right, so you're doing this, you're coming here, you're moving this forward. This gets caught on here. It looks like you're pushing this in, but now if I tilt up a little bit, or if I move angle just a bit as I'm talking, I'm going to push this forward. Here's the exposed view, and I'll move this up. And now when you move this up, it's going to get caught back on here, and now you're going to be in the exact same position as if you started. You're going to push this in, and it's going to be a complete fall shuffle. So once again, you are here, move, push, and then back out, okay? And in speed, or sort of in performance, you're gonna come out here, and I like to push this, I like to take the two packets apart, push this card as I'm squaring up. So as I'm squaring here, and as I'm squaring here, as I come away with it, I push, and then I come into, and then now it looks like I'm shuffling. I turn this way, I push forward, and then I just come out here, I push it in, and you get a complete fall shuffle, okay? So this is just something to play around with on your Sunday afternoon. See if it works for you, see if you can come up with a better method of doing it, and let me know in the comments what you think. Enjoy that, and yeah, if you could perform with it, then by all means, more power to you. Alright guys, so there you have it. Let me know what you think. Love it, hate it. Will you ever use this? Probably not. Maybe you will. Leave your comments down below. Again, I just want to reiterate, this is not something that it should be super fooling to people being like, wow, and he shuffled too. It should be the peripheral vision of the spectators, having that in their mind, having that in their memory. Oh, he was shuffling the deck, do a few false cuts. It's easy enough and basic enough that you could, if you just do false cuts and you want to learn a false shuffle, this is one that you can start with and just do. Again, it's going to be up to you to take it and work it into whatever you want to use it for. So thank you so much guys for sticking around watching. If you did like this video, you know what to do. Comment down below, like, share, do all the stuff, and of course subscribe. We're almost look at that, very close to 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you all for the support, and we will see you very shortly on the next video. Peace.